Kevin's lawyer had left her homeless 4 years ago, pregnant, penniless. Now Judge Destiny walked into the courtroom. Second divorce. Kevin versus his new wife. Custody battle. He looked up and froze. "Your Honor?" His voice cracked. Destiny sat down and opened his file. "Proceed, counselor." In the gallery, 3 children watched quietly. Her triplets. Kevin had never met them. His hands started shaking. But before we dive into the full story, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is. Now, subscribe to the channel and let's get started. "Do you know her?" Sandra Kim whispered the question in Kevin Harper's ear. Her voice was tight, worried. Kevin could not answer. He could not breathe. He stared at the woman in the black robe sitting behind the bench. His hands gripped the wooden table in front of him. Judge Destiny Marie Harper looked down at the file in front of her. Her face showed nothing. No anger, no surprise, no emotion at all. She opened the folder and read silently for several seconds. Then she looked up. Her dark brown eyes moved across the courtroom. They landed on Kevin for just a moment. Then they moved away. "Mr. Harper, Miss Cole, welcome to Courtroom 4B. We are here today to determine custody arrangements for Tyler Harper, age 5. Her voice was calm, professional, cold. Kevin wanted to stand up. He wanted to run, but his legs would not move. This could not be happening. His ex-wife was his judge. The woman he destroyed 4 years ago now held his future in her hands. It was a cold Monday morning in January. Kevin had arrived at the Cook County Courthouse in downtown Chicago 30 minutes early. Sandra walked beside him carrying her briefcase. She wore a gray suit, and her hair was pulled back in a tight bun. "Just be honest," Sandra said as they rode the elevator to the 4th floor. "Answer the questions directly. Do not get emotional. Let me do most of the talking." Kevin nodded. He wore his best navy suit. He had not slept the night before. His 5-year-old son Tyler was everything to him. He could not lose custody. He would not survive it. They walked into courtroom 4B. The room was large, with wooden benches and high ceilings. The walls were painted light gray. Large windows on one side let in cold winter light. Kevin sat down at the table on the left side. Sandra sat next to him. She pulled out papers and organized them in neat stacks. The door on the other side of the courtroom opened. Madison Cole walked in. She wore a black dress and too much makeup. Her long blonde hair fell in waves over her shoulders. Her lawyer, David Ortiz, followed behind her. He was a tall man with dark hair and an expensive suit. Madison sat down across the aisle from Kevin. She did not look at him. Kevin stared at Madison. She was his second ex-wife. They had been married for 3 years. She cheated on him with her personal trainer. Kevin filed for divorce 6 months ago. Now they were fighting over their son, Tyler. Kevin wanted joint custody. Madison wanted full custody and as much money as she could get. More people entered the courtroom. Kevin's parents walked in and sat in the back row. His mother, Patricia, wore a cream-colored dress. His father, Robert, wore a dark suit. They nodded at Kevin but did not smile. Behind them, a woman with gray hair entered holding the hands of 3 small children. 2 girls and 1 boy. They looked about 4 years old. The woman helped them sit down quietly in the last row. The children were well behaved. They sat still and did not talk. Kevin noticed them but did not think much about it. He assumed they belonged to someone else with a case that day. At exactly 9 o'clock in the morning, the bailiff stood up. He was an older man with white hair and a round belly. "All rise." The Honorable Judge Destiny Marie Harper presiding. Everyone in the courtroom stood up. A door behind the bench opened. A woman walked out wearing a black robe. Kevin looked up. His heart stopped. Destiny. His first wife. The woman he divorced 4 years ago. The woman he destroyed in court. The woman he abandoned. She looked different. Her curly black hair was pulled back in a tight bun. Her face was harder, thinner, but it was her. No question. Kevin's chest tightened. He could not breathe. Sandra looked at him with wide eyes. "Do you know her?" Sandra whispered. Kevin could not answer. He just stared. Destiny sat down behind the bench. She did not look at Kevin. She opened the case file in front of her. Her movements were slow and careful, and she read for several seconds. Then she looked up at both tables. "Mr. Harper, Miss Cole, welcome to Courtroom 4B. We are here today to determine custody arrangements for Tyler Harper, age 5. Her voice was steady, calm. It sounded nothing like the woman Kevin used to know. That Destiny had been warm and soft-spoken. This Destiny sounded like ice. "Mr. Ortiz, you may present your opening statement." David Ortiz stood up. He buttoned his suit jacket and walked to the center of the courtroom. "Thank you, Your Honor. My client, Madison Cole, is a devoted mother who has cared for Tyler Harper since birth. She has been the primary caregiver. She has sacrificed her career to raise their son. Meanwhile, Mr. Harper has been absent. He works long hours. He prioritizes his job over his child. He has a history of abandoning his family." David paused and looked directly at Kevin. 4 years ago, Mr. Harper divorced his first wife. The divorce was brutal. He left her with nothing. No money, no home, no support. He walked away without looking back. He married my client just 2 weeks after his divorce was finalized. Then, when my client no longer served his needs, he divorced her too. This is a pattern. Mr. Harper does not commit. He does not stay. He will do the same thing to his son Tyler. He will disappear when things get hard. Therefore, my client is requesting full custody with supervised visitation for Mr. Harper. David sat down. Madison nodded and dabbed at her eyes with a tissue. Kevin felt his face get hot. Everything David said made him sound like a monster. Some of it was true, but not all of it. Sandra stood up. She smoothed her jacket and walked forward. "Your Honor, my client, Kevin Harper, is a loving father who wants to be present in his son's life. Yes, he has made mistakes in the past. He does not deny that. But people can change, people can grow. Mr. Harper has completed a parenting course. He is attending therapy. He shows up for his son every single week. He wants joint custody so Tyler can have both parents in his life. Miss Cole is not a perfect parent either. She has missed scheduled visitations. She has introduced multiple romantic partners to Tyler in a short period of time. She posts photos on social media of herself partying while Tyler is home with babysitters. Both parents have flaws, but Tyler deserves time with both of them." Sandra sat down. Destiny wrote something in her notes. Her face showed nothing. Kevin tried to read her expression but could not. Destiny looked up. "Mr. Harper, how often do you currently see your son?" Kevin stood up slowly. His legs felt weak. He looked at Destiny. She looked right through him. 3 days a week, Your Honor. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. "And what do you do during those visits?" "We eat dinner together. I help him with his homework. We read books before bed. Sometimes we go to the park." "Do you feel that is enough time with your son?" "No, Your Honor. I want more time. I want joint custody." Destiny wrote something down. She did not look at Kevin when she spoke again. "Miss Cole, how often does Mr. Harper miss his scheduled visits?" Madison stood up. She held the tissue in her hand. "He has never missed a visit, Your Honor." Destiny raised one eyebrow. "Never?" "No, Your Honor." Destiny made another note. The courtroom was silent. Kevin sat back down. His heart was pounding so hard he thought everyone could hear it. Destiny closed the file. "We will continue this hearing in 2 weeks. I want both parties to submit financial records and a proposed custody schedule. We will hear testimony from witnesses at the next session. Court is adjourned." She banged the gavel once. Everyone stood up. Destiny gathered her files and walked toward the door behind the bench. She did not look at Kevin again. As she reached the door, the 3 children in the back row stood up. The older woman with gray hair took their hands. They walked toward the side exit. Kevin watched them. One of the little girls wore a blue dress. The other wore pink. The boy wore a small suit. They were beautiful children, well-behaved, quiet. As they passed Kevin's row, the little boy looked at him. The boy had dark brown eyes that looked familiar. Kevin stared. Something felt strange, but before he could think about it, the woman led the children out of the courtroom. Sandra packed up her files. "That was good," she said. "Madison admitted you never miss visits. That helps." Kevin did not respond. He kept staring at the door where Destiny had disappeared. Sandra touched his arm. "Kevin, did you know the judge before today?" Kevin finally looked at Sandra. "She is my first wife." Sandra's mouth fell open. "What?" "Judge Harper. She was Destiny Ross when I married her. She is my ex-wife, the one David mentioned in his opening statement." Sandra closed her eyes and took a deep breath. "This is a problem. A big problem. We need to request a new judge." "No." "Kevin, she has every reason to hate you. She will not be fair." Kevin stood up and grabbed his coat. "She was fair today? Did you hear her questions? She did not show any emotion. She just did her job. For now, but no, I am not requesting a new judge. I deserve this." Kevin walked out of the courtroom. Sandra followed him, still arguing, but Kevin was not listening. He walked down the long hallway toward the elevator. His mind was spinning. Destiny was a judge. His destiny. The woman he left homeless and broken 4 years ago had become a federal family court judge. She had rebuilt her entire life, and now she was deciding his fate. Kevin reached his car in the parking garage. He sat behind the wheel but did not start the engine. He kept seeing her face. Cold, professional, empty. He kept seeing those 3 children in the back row. Something about them bothered him. Something he could not name. He drove home to his small apartment in downtown Chicago. He lived alone now. The big house in Oak Brook was gone. Madison got it in the divorce. Kevin had a 1-bedroom apartment with white walls and almost no furniture. He sat on his couch in the dark. He could not stop thinking about Destiny, about the way she looked at him, or rather, the way she looked through him, like he was already dead. Kevin sat on his couch until midnight. The apartment was dark, cold. He did not turn on any lights. His phone buzzed on the coffee table, but he did not pick it up. He kept seeing Destiny's face, the way she looked at him in that courtroom, like he was nothing. 4 years ago, everything was different. Kevin closed his eyes and let the memories come back. He was 34 years old then. He worked as an investment banker at Morrison Financial Group in downtown Chicago. He made good money. He and Destiny lived in a beautiful house in Lincoln Park. 3 bedrooms, hardwood floors, a small backyard. Destiny worked as a paralegal at a law firm. She wanted to go to law school someday. She talked about it all the time. Kevin remembered coming home from work one evening in March. Destiny was cooking dinner in the kitchen. She wore jeans and one of his old shirts. Her hair was loose and curly. She smiled when he walked in. "How was your day?" she asked. "Long," Kevin said. He kissed her cheek. "What are you making?" "Chicken and rice, your favorite." They ate dinner together at the small table by the window. Destiny talked about her day, about a case she was working on, about her boss who never said thank you. Kevin listened, but his mind was somewhere else. He was thinking about Madison Cole, the new marketing assistant at his firm. She was 24 years old, young, exciting. She laughed at all his jokes. She made him feel alive again. Kevin looked at Destiny across the table. She was still talking, still smiling. He felt nothing. 2 weeks later, Kevin asked for a divorce. They were in the living room. Destiny was reading a book on the couch. Kevin sat down next to her. "We need to talk," he said. Destiny put her book down. She looked worried. "What is it?" "I want a divorce." The words came out flat, cold. Destiny stared at him. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. "What?" she finally whispered. "I am not happy anymore. I have not been happy for a long time. I think we should end this." Destiny's eyes filled with tears. "Kevin, no, we can fix this. We can go to therapy. We can work on it." "I do not want to work on it. I want out." "Is there someone else?" Kevin did not answer. That was answer enough. Destiny started crying. She begged him to stay. She said she loved him. She said they made vows. She said marriage was supposed to be forever. Kevin stood up and walked to the bedroom. He packed a bag. Destiny followed him, still crying, still begging. Kevin left that night. He stayed at a hotel downtown. He called Madison from his room. "I did it," he said. "I asked for a divorce." Madison sounded happy, excited. "I am so proud of you, baby. You deserve to be happy." Kevin's parents supported the divorce. His father, Robert, owned a chain of car dealerships across Illinois. His mother, Patricia, spent her days at the country club. They never liked Destiny. They thought she was beneath Kevin, not from the right kind of family. "You can do better," his mother said when Kevin told them about the divorce. That girl was always trying to climb above her station. His father hired the best divorce lawyer in Chicago, Robert Brennan. He was known for being aggressive, ruthless. He destroyed people in court. The divorce took 3 months. Brennan painted Destiny as a gold digger. He brought witnesses who lied about her. He made her look terrible. Destiny could only afford a cheap lawyer who barely showed up. The judge gave Destiny nothing. No alimony, no part of the house, no car, nothing. Kevin kept everything. 2 weeks after the divorce was final, Kevin married Madison at a small ceremony in Oak Brook. His parents were there. Madison's parents were there. Nobody from Kevin's old life came. Nobody who knew Destiny. Kevin and Madison moved into a mansion in Oak Brook. 6 bedrooms, a pool, a 3-car garage. Madison quit her job. She spent her days shopping and posting photos on Instagram. Kevin worked long hours. He told himself he was happy. But the marriage fell apart quickly. Madison grew bored. She wanted attention. Kevin was always working. She started going to the gym twice a day. She hired a personal trainer named Josh. Young, muscular, always smiling. Kevin did not think anything of it. Then, one afternoon, Kevin came home early from work. He walked into the bedroom. Madison and Josh were in bed together. Madison screamed. Josh grabbed his clothes and ran. Kevin stood in the doorway and felt nothing. No anger, no sadness, just empty. He filed for divorce the next week. By then, Madison was pregnant with Tyler. Kevin opened his eyes. He was back in his dark apartment. His phone buzzed again. He finally picked it up. His mother was calling. He answered. "Hello? Kevin, your father and I need to talk to you about today." Kevin rubbed his eyes. He was so tired. What about it? That judge. We looked her up. She is Destiny Ross, your first wife. I know. This is a problem, Kevin. A serious problem. She will destroy you in court. You need to request a new judge immediately. No. Kevin, I said no, Mom. The ruling was fair today. She did her job. I am not requesting a new judge. His father's voice came on the phone. He sounded angry. Stop being weak. That woman hates you. She has every reason to. You need to protect yourself. I do not need protection. I need to face what I did. What you did? You got divorced. People get divorced every day. You do not owe her anything. Kevin felt anger rise in his chest. I destroyed her. I took everything from her. I left her with nothing. You helped me do it. You and Robert Brennan. We helped you get what was yours. It was not mine. It was ours. We built that life together, and I burned it all down because I was selfish and bored. His mother took the phone back. Kevin, you are not thinking clearly. Let us help you. I do not want your help. I have to go. Kevin hung up. He threw his phone on the couch. He stood up and walked to the window. Chicago stretched out below him. Thousands of lights in the darkness. Thousands of people living their lives. Somewhere out there, Destiny was putting those 3 children to bed, reading them stories, tucking them in. She had built a whole new life without him. Kevin walked to his bedroom. He needed to sleep. He needed to stop thinking. But as he opened his closet to hang up his jacket, he saw a box on the top shelf. A cardboard box he did not recognize. He pulled it down. It was covered in dust. He opened it. Inside were letters. Dozens of them, all addressed to Kevin Harper. All from Destiny Ross. The return address was a women's shelter on the south side of Chicago. Every envelope was stamped "Return to Sender" in red ink. Kevin's hands started shaking. He pulled out the first letter. It was dated 4 years ago, 2 weeks after their divorce was final. He opened it carefully. The paper was thin and cheap. Destiny's handwriting was small and careful. Asterisk Kevin, I have tried calling you, but your number is blocked. I went to your office, but security escorted me out. I am writing this letter because I do not know what else to do. I need to tell you something important. I am pregnant. The baby is yours. I found out 3 days ago. I am living at a shelter on the south side because I have nowhere else to go. I know you do not want to talk to me. I know you want to move on with your life. But this is your child. You have a right to know. Please, call me. Please, we need to talk about this. Destiny, asterisk. Kevin dropped the letter. His whole body went cold. He grabbed another envelope, then another, then another. He ripped them open and read them one by one. The second letter said Destiny was still waiting. She had no money. She was working night shifts at a diner. She was begging Kevin to respond. The third letter said she went to the doctor. She was not having one baby. She was having triplets. 3 babies. She was terrified. She needed help. The fourth letter said she understood Kevin did not want her. But these were his children. They deserved to know their father. The letters went on and on. 15 total. Each one more desperate than the last. In the final letter, Destiny wrote that she would never contact him again. She wrote that he made his choice. She wrote that she would raise the children alone. She wrote that he was dead to her. Kevin sat on the floor surrounded by letters. His chest hurt. He could not breathe. Those 3 children in the courtroom, the 2 girls and the boy, they were his children. Amara, Sienna, and Marcus. He had 3 more children, and he never knew. He blocked Destiny so completely that he erased them from existence. Kevin looked at the envelopes again. Every single one was marked "Return to Sender." He never saw them. Someone sent them back. Someone kept them from him. Madison. It had to be Madison. She must have intercepted the letters, hidden them, sent them back. She did not want Kevin to know about Destiny's pregnancy. She wanted him all to herself. Kevin stood up. He grabbed his phone and called Sandra Kim. It rang 4 times before she answered. Her voice was thick with sleep. "Kevin? It is 2 in the morning. What is wrong?" "I found letters from Destiny from 4 years ago. She tried to tell me she was pregnant. She tried to reach me. I blocked her. I never saw these letters. Someone sent them back." Sandra was quiet for a moment. "How many letters?" 15. "And they say she was pregnant?" "Yes, with triplets. Those children in the courtroom today. They are mine." Sandra was silent on the other end of the phone. Kevin could hear her breathing. He waited. "Kevin," she finally said. Her voice was careful, slow. "This does not change anything." "What do you mean it does not change anything? I have 3 children I never knew about." "The custody case is about Tyler, not about children from a previous relationship. If you bring up the triplets in court, it will hurt your case." Kevin felt anger rise in his chest. "How will it hurt my case?" "Because it proves exactly what Madison's lawyer said today, that you abandon your children. You have 3 kids you never met, never supported. The judge will see you as a deadbeat father." "But I did not know about them. These letters prove Destiny tried to tell me. The letters also prove you blocked her. You made it impossible for her to reach you. That was your choice, Kevin. No judge will feel sorry for you." Kevin sat down on his bed. He still held one of the letters in his hand. "So what am I supposed to do? Just pretend I do not know?" "For now, yes. Focus on Tyler. Win this custody case. After that, if you want to pursue a relationship with the triplets, you can. But not now, not during this trial. They are my children. Legally, they are not. You never signed a birth certificate. You never paid child support. You have no parental rights. Destiny could refuse to let you see them, and there is nothing you could do about it." Kevin closed his eyes. His head was pounding. "This is insane. This is reality. Get some sleep, Kevin. We have a lot of work to do before the next hearing." Sandra hung up. Kevin dropped his phone on the bed. He looked at the letters scattered across the floor. 15 letters. 15 chances to do the right thing. He missed every single one. Kevin did not sleep that night. He sat on his bedroom floor and read every letter again. He read them slowly, carefully. He wanted to memorize every word. In the first letter, Destiny sounded scared, but hopeful. She still believed Kevin would respond. She still believed he would help. By the 5th letter, her tone changed. She sounded desperate. She was working 3 jobs. She was attending law school at night. She was sleeping 4 hours a day. By the 10th letter, she sounded angry. She wrote that Kevin was a coward, that he destroyed her life and did not even have the courage to face her. By the 15th and final letter, she sounded empty. She wrote that she was done begging, done hoping. She would raise her children alone. She did not need him. She never wanted to see him again. Kevin put the last letter down. His eyes were burning. When was the last time he cried? He could not remember. But now, sitting alone on his bedroom floor at 4 in the morning, Kevin Harper cried. He cried for Destiny, for the children he never met, for the life he destroyed because he was selfish and weak. The sun came up. Kevin stood up stiffly. His back hurt. His eyes hurt. He walked to the bathroom and looked in the mirror. He looked terrible. Dark circles under his eyes. His face was pale. He splashed cold water on his face and got dressed. He had to go to work. He had a meeting at 9 in the morning. Kevin drove to Morrison Financial Group in downtown Chicago. The building was tall and made of glass. He took the elevator to the 14th floor. His office was small, with a desk and 2 chairs. He sat down and stared at his computer screen. He could not focus. All he could think about were those 3 children: Amara, Sienna, Marcus, his children. At 11 in the morning, his assistant knocked on his door. Her name was Rebecca. She was young with short red hair. "Mr. Harper, your 9 o'clock meeting was rescheduled. Also, your father called 3 times. He says it is urgent." Kevin rubbed his face. "Tell my father I will call him later. He said it is about the custody case." "I do not care. I will call him later." Rebecca nodded and left. Kevin stood up and walked to the window. He looked out at the city. Somewhere out there was destiny. Somewhere out there were his children. He needed to see them. He needed to talk to Destiny. He needed to tell her he knew the truth. Kevin grabbed his coat and left his office. Rebecca called after him, but he did not stop. He took the elevator down to the parking garage and got in his car. He drove to the Cook County Courthouse. It was Tuesday. Destiny had other cases. She would be there. Kevin parked and walked into the courthouse. He went through security. The metal detector beeped. He emptied his pockets and tried again. The guard waved him through. Kevin took the elevator to the 4th floor. He walked down the long hallway. Courtroom 4B was at the end. He looked through the small window in the door. Destiny was inside. She sat at the bench listening to a lawyer speak. The 3 children sat in the back row with the same older woman from yesterday. The woman with gray hair. Kevin waited in the hallway. He sat on a wooden bench outside the courtroom. He waited for 2 hours. Finally, at 1 in the afternoon, people started coming out. The case was over. Kevin stood up. His heart was pounding. He watched the door. Destiny walked out. She was talking to the bailiff. She held a stack of files in her arms. Then the older woman came out, with the 3 children. The little girl in the blue dress was holding the woman's hand. The other little girl was skipping ahead. The boy walked slowly, looking at everything around him. Kevin stepped forward. He blocked their path. Destiny stopped walking. The older woman pulled the children closer. Destiny's face went cold. "Mr. Harper!" Her voice was ice. She did not sound surprised, just angry. "I need to talk to you," Kevin said. His voice was shaking. "We have nothing to discuss outside of court. Please, just 5 minutes." Destiny looked at the older woman. "Patricia, take the children downstairs. I will meet you at the car." The woman named Patricia nodded. She took the children's hands and led them toward the elevator. The little boy looked back at Kevin. His dark brown eyes were curious. Then they were gone. Destiny turned to face Kevin. They were alone in the hallway. "You have 3 minutes. Talk." Kevin swallowed hard. His throat was dry. "I found the letters." Destiny's face did not change. "What letters?" "The letters you sent me 4 years ago. 15 letters. You tried to tell me you were pregnant. You tried to reach me. I blocked you. Someone sent the letters back. I never saw them. Not until last night." Destiny stared at him. Her dark eyes were hard. And I know the truth now. Those children, Amara, Sienna, and Marcus, they are mine. Destiny tilted her head slightly. A small, cold smile appeared on her lips. "Are they?" Kevin felt desperate. He stepped closer. "I know they are. I can see it in their faces. Please, Destiny. I did not know. I swear I did not know." "You did not want to know. There is a difference. That is not fair. Destiny's smile disappeared. Her voice dropped lower, colder. Fair? You want to talk about Fair? I slept in a homeless shelter while pregnant with your children. I worked 3 jobs while studying for the LSAT. I gave birth alone in a charity hospital with no family, no support, no help. I built a life from nothing. And now you want to talk about Fair? Kevin's eyes filled with tears. I am sorry. I know that does not mean anything, but I am sorry. I was a coward. I was selfish. I destroyed you. But please, let me meet them. Let me be a father to them. Destiny stepped closer to Kevin. She was shorter than him, but she felt taller, stronger. You are not their father. You are a sperm donor, nothing more. Those children do not know you. They do not need you. They have me. That is enough. I have rights. Destiny laughed. It was a terrible sound, empty and sharp. Rights? You have no rights. You never signed a birth certificate. You never paid a single dollar of child support. You abandoned them before they were born. You have no legal claim to them at all. I will take you to court. I will fight for custody. Destiny's face went very still. She stared at Kevin for a long moment. Then she spoke quietly. Each word came out slow and clear. If you try to take me to court, I will bury you. I have 4 years of documentation. I have the letters I sent you. I have proof you blocked me. I have witnesses who saw you turn me away. I have proof you married another woman 2 weeks after our divorce. I have everything. You have nothing. So go ahead. Try. See what happens. Kevin felt his chest tighten. He could not breathe. Destiny picked up her files. Stay away from my children, Kevin. This is the only warning you will get. She turned and walked toward the elevator. Kevin stood frozen. He watched her press the button. The elevator doors opened. She stepped inside. She did not look back. The doors closed. She was gone. Kevin stood alone in the empty hallway. His legs felt weak. He sat down on the bench. He put his head in his hands. What had he done? His phone buzzed. It was a text message from Madison. Asterisk, I heard you were at the courthouse today. What were you doing there? We need to talk. Kevin stared at the message. Madison. She was the one who hid the letters. She was the one who kept Destiny away. She destroyed any chance Kevin had of knowing his children. Another text came through. Asterisk, I know about the other kids. This makes you look really bad, Kevin. My lawyer is going to use this against you. Kevin stood up. He deleted both messages. He walked to the elevator and went down to the parking garage. He got in his car but did not start the engine. He just sat there in the darkness. Kevin sat in the parking garage for 20 minutes. Cars drove past him. People walked to their vehicles. Nobody looked at him. He was invisible. That was how Destiny saw him now. A ghost from her past. Finally, Kevin started the car. He drove home. When he got to his apartment, he called Madison. She answered on the first ring. Kevin, I have been waiting for your call. Her voice was sharp, angry. Kevin sat down on his couch. How did you know I was at the courthouse? Someone saw you. It does not matter who. What were you doing there? The next hearing is not for 2 weeks. Kevin took a deep breath. He was tired of lying, tired of hiding. I went to talk to Destiny. About what? About the letters you hid from me. Madison was silent for 3 seconds. Then she laughed. It was a cold, bitter sound. I have no idea what you are talking about. Stop lying, Madison. I found them. 15 letters from Destiny. All sent back. All hidden in a box in my closet. You hid them from me. So what if I did? You wanted nothing to do with that woman. You blocked her number. You told me to keep her away from you. She was trying to tell me she was pregnant. Madison laughed again. Pregnant? That is what this is about? Kevin, you are pathetic. That woman is lying to you. She has 3 children, triplets. They are 4 years old. I saw them. How do you know they are yours? She probably got pregnant by someone else and is trying to trap you. Kevin felt rage building in his chest. His hands were shaking. They look exactly like me, Madison. I know they are mine. Well, that is too bad, because now everyone will know you abandoned 3 children. My lawyer is going to destroy you in court. The judge will see you for what you are. A man who walks away when things get hard. The judge is Destiny. Madison went quiet. What? Judge Destiny Harper. She is Destiny Ross, my first wife. She is the judge on our custody case. Madison made a sound between a laugh and a scream. Are you kidding me? This is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. She is going to destroy you. She is going to give me full custody, and you will never see Tyler again. Kevin hung up. He threw his phone across the room. It hit the wall and fell to the floor. The screen cracked. Kevin did not care. The next 3 days passed slowly. Kevin went to work, but he could not focus. He sat in his office staring at his computer. Rebecca brought him coffee and files to sign. He barely noticed. At night, he sat in his apartment and looked at the letters. He read them over and over. Destiny's handwriting became familiar. He could hear her voice in the words. On Friday morning, Kevin woke up early. The next custody hearing was in 3 days. Monday morning at 9. Kevin knew he was running out of time. He needed to talk to Destiny again. He needed to make her understand that he did not know, that if he had known, everything would have been different. Kevin got dressed and drove to the courthouse. He parked across the street. He sat in his car and waited. He watched people walk up the steps. Lawyers in suits, families with children, security guards. But no Destiny. At 8:30 in the morning, a black car pulled up to the curb. Kevin sat up straighter. The back door opened. Patricia stepped out first. Then Amara. Then Sienna. Then Marcus. They were all dressed nicely. Amara wore a yellow dress. Sienna wore purple. Marcus wore small black pants and a white shirt. Patricia held their hands and led them toward the courthouse steps. Then Destiny got out of the car. She wore a gray suit and black heels. Her hair was pulled back. She carried her briefcase in one hand. She said something to Patricia. Patricia nodded and started walking up the steps with the children. Kevin opened his car door. He crossed the street quickly. He reached the bottom of the courthouse steps just as Destiny started climbing them. Destiny, wait! Destiny stopped. She turned slowly. When she saw Kevin, her face went hard. What are you doing here, Mr. Harper? I need to talk to you. Please. Destiny looked up at Patricia and the children. They were halfway up the steps. Patricia, take the children inside. I will be there in a moment. Patricia looked worried, but she obeyed. She led Amara, Sienna, and Marcus through the front doors. Marcus looked back at Kevin. The boy's face was curious, innocent. Then the doors closed. Destiny walked back down 2 steps. She stood above Kevin. Her dark eyes were cold. You were told to stay away from my children. I know. I am sorry. But I cannot stop thinking about them. About you. About everything that happened. That is not my problem. Please, Destiny, just listen to me. I found out Madison hid the letters from me. She kept them in a box. She sent them back without telling me. If I had known you were pregnant, I would have helped. I would have been there. Destiny tilted her head. Her voice was calm but sharp. Would you? Really? Because I remember begging you to stay. I remember crying and asking you to work on our marriage. You said no. You walked out. 2 weeks later, you married Madison. So do not stand here and tell me you would have been there. You were not there when I needed you most. Why would a baby change that? Kevin felt tears in his eyes. I was wrong. I was selfish. I know that now. Congratulations. You figured it out 4 years too late. I want to meet them. Mara, Sienna, and Marcus. I want to be their father. You are not their father. You are nothing to them. I have rights. Destiny stepped down one more step. She was close to Kevin now, close enough that he could see the anger in her eyes, the pain, the exhaustion. You have no rights. You signed nothing. You claimed nothing. You paid nothing. Legally, you do not exist to them. Then I will take you to court. I will fight for custody. Destiny smiled. It was not a kind smile. Go ahead. Try. I have 4 years of evidence. Letters, emails, witnesses. I have proof I tried to contact you. Proof you blocked me. Proof you refused to help. I have documentation of every dollar I spent raising them alone. Every sleepless night. Every sacrifice. What do you have, Kevin? A box of returned letters that prove you made yourself unreachable? Good luck with that. Kevin's voice broke. I did not know, Destiny. I swear I did not know. You did not want to know. You wanted your new life with your new wife. You got it. Now live with it. Destiny turned and walked up the steps. Kevin followed her. Please, I am begging you. Let me meet them. Just once. Let me apologize. Let me... Destiny spun around. Her voice was loud. Sharp. No. The answer is no. You do not get to walk back into my life and demand things. You do not get to meet my children. You do not get anything from me. Do you understand? Nothing. People walking past stopped and stared. A security guard at the top of the steps started walking toward them. Destiny lowered her voice. She spoke slowly. Each word was clear. Stay away from me. Stay away from my children. If I see you near them again, I will file a restraining order. Do you understand? Kevin opened his mouth, but no words came out. Destiny walked away. She climbed the steps and went through the front doors. The security guard watched Kevin. Kevin stood at the bottom of the steps. His legs felt heavy. He could not move. Finally, he turned and walked back to his car. He sat behind the wheel. He put his head on the steering wheel. His phone rang. He looked at the screen. It was Madison. Kevin answered. What? I heard you were at the courthouse again. Someone just called me. They said you were arguing with the judge on the front steps. Are you insane? Kevin said nothing. Madison's voice got louder. Do you know what this means? You are harassing the judge. She can hold you in contempt. She can throw out your custody case completely. You are going to lose, Tyler. Do you understand that? You are going to lose everything. I already lost everything. Kevin hung up. He turned off his phone. He started the car and drove away from the courthouse. He did not go home. He did not go to work. He just drove. He drove south through Chicago, past his old house in Lincoln Park, past the shelter where Destiny stayed 4 years ago, past the hospital where his children were born, children he never met, never held, never knew. Kevin pulled over on a side street. He sat in his car and cried. He cried until he had no tears left. Then he sat in silence. The city moved around him. People walked past. Cars drove by. Life continued. But Kevin felt stuck, frozen in a mistake he made 4 years ago. A mistake that destroyed everything. Kevin sat in his car until the sun started to set. The sky turned orange, and then purple. He finally drove home. When he got to his apartment, he did not turn on the lights. He just sat in the dark. The weekend passed slowly. Kevin did not leave his apartment. He did not answer his phone. He ordered food but did not eat it. He just sat and thought about Destiny, about the children, about everything he destroyed. On Sunday afternoon, someone knocked on his door. Kevin ignored it. The knocking continued. Finally, Kevin stood up and opened the door. Sandra Kim stood in the hallway. She wore jeans and a sweater. She did not look happy. "You have not answered your phone in 3 days." Kevin stepped aside. Sandra walked into the apartment. She looked around at the dark room, the uneaten food on the counter, the clothes on the floor. "Kevin, what are you doing?" "Nothing. The hearing is tomorrow morning. We need to prepare." "I know." Sandra turned to face him. Her voice was firm. "I heard you went to the courthouse again. I heard you confronted Judge Harper on the steps, in front of witnesses." Kevin did not answer. "Are you trying to lose this case? Are you trying to lose Tyler?" "No." "Then what are you doing? You cannot harass the judge. You cannot—" "I was not harassing her. I was trying to talk to her." Sandra closed her eyes and took a deep breath. "Kevin, listen to me very carefully. Tomorrow morning, Madison's lawyer is going to bring up the triplets. He is going to say you abandoned 3 children. He is going to make you look like a terrible father. We need to be ready for that." "How can we be ready? It is the truth. I did abandon them." "You did not know about them. I made it impossible for Destiny to tell me." "That is the same thing." Sandra sat down on the couch. She looked tired. "Do you want to give up? Do you want Madison to have full custody of Tyler?" Kevin thought about his son. Tyler with his quiet voice and sad eyes. Tyler who asked questions Kevin did not know how to answer. Tyler who deserved better. "No, I do not want to give up." "Then tomorrow you need to be honest. You need to tell the truth. You made mistakes. You own them. But you have changed. You are trying to be better. That is what the judge needs to see." Kevin sat down next to Sandra. "Destiny will never forgive me." "This is not about forgiveness. This is about Tyler. Focus on that." Sandra left an hour later. Kevin took a shower. He shaved, he ate something, then he went to bed. He did not sleep much. He kept thinking about tomorrow. Monday morning arrived cold and gray. Kevin put on his best suit, a dark blue one. He tied his tie 3 times before he got it right. His hands were shaking. He drove to the courthouse and met Sandra in the lobby. She wore a black suit and carried her briefcase. "Are you ready?" she asked. "No." "Good. Honesty is what we need today." They took the elevator to the 4th floor. They walked to courtroom 4B. The hallway was crowded. Kevin saw Madison standing with her lawyer, David Ortiz. She wore a black dress, and her hair was perfect. She looked confident. When she saw Kevin, she smiled. It was not a kind smile. Kevin and Sandra entered the courtroom. The room was more crowded than last time. Kevin's parents sat in the back row. His mother wore a blue dress. His father wore a gray suit. They did not smile at Kevin. Next to them sat Madison's parents. Her mother wore pearls. Her father wore an expensive watch. On the other side of the courtroom, Patricia sat with Amara, Sienna, and Marcus. The children sat quietly. Amara was coloring in a book. Sienna was whispering to Patricia. Marcus was reading a picture book about dinosaurs. Kevin stared at them. His children. They did not know him. They never would. The bailiff stood up. "All rise. The Honorable Judge Destiny Marie Harper, presiding." Everyone stood. Destiny entered through the door behind the bench. She wore her black robe. Her face was calm, professional. She did not look at Kevin. She sat down and opened the case file. "Please be seated. We are here to continue the custody hearing for Tyler Harper. Mr. Ortiz, you may present your evidence." David Ortiz stood up. He was a tall man with dark eyes and a sharp voice. "Thank you, Your Honor. I would like to present new evidence regarding Mr. Harper's character and fitness as a parent." Sandra stood up quickly. "Objection, Your Honor. We were not informed of any new evidence." David held up a folder. "This evidence came to light over the weekend. It is directly relevant to this case." Destiny looked at Sandra, then at David. "I will allow it. Proceed, Mr. Ortiz." Sandra sat down. She looked worried. David walked to the center of the courtroom. "Your Honor, Mr. Harper has 3 other children. Triplets, a boy and 2 girls. They are 4 years old. He has never met them, never supported them. He abandoned them before they were even born." The courtroom went silent. Kevin felt everyone staring at him. His parents, Madison's parents, the bailiff, Patricia. Even the children looked up from what they were doing. Sandra stood up again. "Objection! These alleged children are not relevant to the custody of Tyler Harper." David turned to face Sandra. "They are absolutely relevant. They prove Mr. Harper has a pattern of abandoning his children. He did it once. He will do it again." Destiny tapped her pen on the desk. Her face showed nothing. "Objection overruled. Character evidence is allowed in custody cases. Continue, Mr. Ortiz." David smiled. He opened the folder and pulled out papers. 4 years ago, Mr. Harper divorced his first wife, Destiny Ross. The divorce was brutal. He left her with nothing. No money, no home, no support. 2 weeks after the divorce, he married my client, Madison Cole. During that time, his ex-wife discovered she was pregnant with triplets. She tried to contact Mr. Harper. She sent letters. She called. She went to his office. Mr. Harper blocked her completely. He refused all contact. He made it impossible for her to reach him. Those 3 children grew up without a father because Mr. Harper chose to walk away. Sandra stood up. "Your Honor, Mr. Harper never received those letters. His ex-wife sent them to an old address. He had no way of knowing. That is not true." Everyone turned to look at Kevin. He was standing. His voice was quiet but clear. Sandra grabbed his arm. "Kevin, sit down." "No, I need to tell the truth." Destiny looked directly at Kevin for the first time that morning. Her dark eyes were unreadable. "Mr. Harper, you wish to speak?" "Yes, Your Honor." "Then approach the bench and be sworn in." Kevin walked forward. His legs felt weak. The bailiff held out a Bible. Kevin put his hand on it. "Do you swear to tell the truth? The whole truth? And nothing but the truth?" "I do." Kevin sat down in the witness chair. Destiny looked at him. The courtroom was completely silent. "Mr. Harper, did you receive letters from your ex-wife 4 years ago?" Kevin took a deep breath. "No, Your Honor, but only because I blocked her. I told my assistant to throw away any messages from her. I blocked her phone number. I told security at my office to remove her if she came. I made it impossible for her to reach me. Why? Because I wanted to move on. I wanted my new life with Madison. I did not want to deal with my ex-wife." "Did you know she was pregnant?" "No, not until last week. I found the letters hidden in a box. Someone sent them back without telling me." "But you admit you made yourself unreachable." Kevin looked at Destiny. He saw the pain in her eyes, the anger, the exhaustion. "Yes, I admit that. It was my choice, my fault. I abandoned her. I abandoned my children. I did not know they existed, but that is because I chose not to know. I chose to block out anything that was uncomfortable. I was a coward." The courtroom was silent. Kevin's father stood up in the back row. "Your Honor, my son is not thinking clearly. He—" Destiny banged her gavel. "Sit down, Mr. Harper. You are not the one on trial." Kevin's father sat down slowly. His face was red. Destiny looked back at Kevin. Do you regret your choices? Yes. Every single day. Do you want a relationship with these children now? Kevin felt tears in his eyes. Yes. More than anything. Destiny wrote something down. Her hand moved slowly across the paper. Step down, Mr. Harper. Kevin walked back to his table. Sandra would not look at him. The hearing continued for 3 more hours. Witnesses testified. Kevin's mother said he was a good father. Madison's friend said he was never home. A neighbor said Tyler seemed sad. Another neighbor said Kevin was trying his best. Finally, at 2 in the afternoon, Destiny banged her gavel. We will take a recess. I need time to review all the evidence. The final hearing will be in 2 weeks. Friday, March 15th at 9 in the morning. Court is adjourned. Everyone stood. Destiny gathered her files and walked toward her chambers. Patricia stood up with the children. Marcus was holding his toy car, a small red car with black wheels. As they walked toward the exit, Marcus dropped it. The car rolled across the floor and stopped at Kevin's feet. Kevin bent down and picked it up. He walked over to Marcus and held it out. Marcus looked up at him with big, dark brown eyes. Thank you, sir. Kevin froze. The voice. That small, quiet voice. It sounded exactly like Kevin's own voice when he was a child. He heard it in old home videos his mother kept. That same tone. That same rhythm. Marcus took the car and walked away with Patricia. Kevin stood in the middle of the courtroom, unable to move. Sandra touched Kevin's shoulder. He was still standing in the middle of the courtroom. Everyone else had left. Just Sandra and Kevin remained. Kevin, we need to go. Kevin looked at her. His face was pale. Did you hear him? Hear who? Marcus, when he said thank you. His voice sounded exactly like mine when I was a kid. Sandra picked up her briefcase. Kevin, you need to focus. We have 2 weeks until the final hearing. We need to prepare. I cannot fight her. I cannot take Destiny to court. This case is not about Destiny. It is about Tyler. Kevin sat down in one of the courtroom chairs. He put his head in his hands. I need to change my approach. Fighting Destiny will not work. Demanding to see the triplets will not work. I need to prove I have changed. I need to show her I can be a good father. Sandra sat down next to him. That is exactly what you need to do. Kevin looked up. How do I prove that in 2 weeks? You start by being the father Tyler needs. Show up. Be present. Do the work. The judge will see it. Kevin drove home that night, thinking about Sandra's words. When he got to his apartment, he did not turn on the television. He did not sit in the dark. He picked up his phone and called his therapist. Dr. Laura Chen answered after 3 rings. Kevin, I was wondering when you would call. I need to see you as soon as possible. I have an opening tomorrow morning at 7. Can you make that? Yes, I will be there. The next morning, Kevin arrived at Dr. Chen's office at 6:45. The office was in a small building in downtown Chicago. The waiting room had soft gray chairs and a water fountain. Dr. Chen opened the door at exactly 7. She was a small woman in her 50s with short black hair and kind eyes. She wore a green sweater and black pants. Come in, Kevin. Kevin sat down on the couch in her office. Dr. Chen sat across from him in a chair. She held a notebook and a pen. Tell me what happened. Kevin told her everything. About the letters. About Destiny being his judge. About the triplets. About confronting Destiny on the courthouse steps. About the hearing yesterday. About Marcus and his voice. When he finished, Dr. Chen was quiet for a moment. What do you want, Kevin? I want to be a father. To Tyler and to the triplets. Are you ready to do the work? Yes, Dr. Chen leaned forward. Then stop trying to force your way into their lives. Stop demanding. Stop fighting. Start proving. Show Destiny through your actions that you have changed. Show her you can be the father Tyler needs. That is the only way she will ever trust you with the triplets. Kevin nodded slowly. How do I do that? You show up every single time. You are present. You are patient. You are consistent. You do the hard work of being a parent. Kevin left Dr. Chen's office feeling different, clear, focused. He had 2 weeks until the final hearing. 2 weeks to prove he was not the same man who walked away 4 years ago. That afternoon, Kevin picked up Tyler from Madison's house. It was his day for visitation. Tyler came to the door with his backpack. He was small for 5 years old. He had Kevin's dark hair and Madison's green eyes. He looked tired. Hey, buddy, Kevin said. Hi, Dad. They drove to Kevin's apartment. Usually, Kevin ordered pizza or Chinese food, but today he stopped at the grocery store. Tyler looked confused. What are we doing? We are going to cook dinner together. Kevin bought chicken, rice, vegetables, and bread. They went back to the apartment, and Kevin found a recipe on his phone. Tyler stood on a chair next to the counter and helped wash the vegetables. Kevin cut them into small pieces. They put the chicken in a pan and cooked it. The rice boiled on the stove. The apartment smelled good, warm, like a home. They ate dinner at the small table by the window. Tyler talked about school, about his friend Emma, who could do a cartwheel, about his teacher, Mrs. Rodriguez, who read them a story about a bear. Kevin listened, really listened. He asked questions. Tyler smiled. After dinner, they cleaned up together. Then Kevin helped Tyler with his homework. Simple addition problems, spelling words. Kevin was patient. When Tyler got frustrated, Kevin stayed calm. You can do this, buddy. Try again. Tyler tried again. He got it right. He looked up at Kevin with bright eyes. I did it! You did. I am proud of you. At 8 o'clock, Kevin ran a bath for Tyler. Then he helped him brush his teeth. They went to Kevin's bedroom, and Kevin pulled out a children's book he had bought that afternoon. The book was about a dinosaur who was scared of the dark. They sat on the bed together, and Kevin read. Tyler leaned against him. His small body was warm, safe. When the story ended, Tyler looked up at Kevin. Dad, can I ask you something? Of course. Why do you and Mom not live together anymore? Kevin's chest tightened. He took a deep breath. Your mom and I made mistakes. We hurt each other. Sometimes, when grown-ups hurt each other, they cannot live together anymore. But that does not change how much we love you. Do you understand? Tyler nodded slowly. Do you still love Mom? Kevin thought about how to answer that. I will always care about your mom because she gave me you. But we are not married anymore. Okay, Tyler yawned. Kevin tucked him into bed. He kissed his forehead. Good night, buddy. I love you. I love you too, Dad. Kevin turned off the light and left the door open a crack. He sat in the living room and felt something he had not felt in a long time. Peace. The next 2 weeks followed the same pattern. Kevin picked up Tyler every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. They cooked dinner together. They did homework. They read books. They went to the shed aquarium and looked at fish. They went to the Museum of Science and Industry and saw the big trains. They ate deep dish pizza at Lou Malnati's on Michigan Avenue. They walked along the lakefront even though it was cold. Tyler held Kevin's hand. He smiled more. He talked more. He was happy. One evening, Tyler said something that made Kevin's heart stop. Dad, I wish I could live with you more. Kevin was careful with his words. "I would like that too, buddy." "Can I?" "I am working on it. I promise." Kevin recorded this conversation on his phone with the recording app. Sandra had told him to document everything. Everything good. Everything bad. On Thursday afternoon, Kevin enrolled in a parenting class at the Lincoln Park Community Center. The class met twice a week for 4 weeks. 8 sessions total. Kevin was the only father in the class. The other 7 people were mothers. Some were divorced. Some were single. One woman had 4 children and looked exhausted all the time. The instructor was a woman named Helen Martinez. She was in her 60s with gray hair and a warm smile. She talked about patience, about listening, about being present, about setting boundaries. Kevin took notes. He asked questions. He shared his story. "I made a lot of mistakes," he said during the second class. "I walked away from my first marriage. I abandoned my responsibilities. I have children I have never met. I am trying to do better now. I am trying to be the father my son deserves." The other parents nodded. They understood. Everyone in that room had made mistakes. Everyone was trying to do better. After the 4th class, Helen pulled Kevin aside. "You are doing good work, Kevin. Keep going." "Thank you." Kevin also continued seeing Dr. Chen twice a week. She helped him process his guilt, his shame, his regret. She helped him see that he could not change the past. He could only change his future. "You cannot force destiny to forgive you," Dr. Chen said during one session. "Forgiveness is her choice. All you can control is your own behavior. Be the man you should have been. Do it for Tyler. Do it for yourself." Kevin also hired a private investigator. His name was Marcus Stone. He was a tall black man in his 40s with a deep voice and tired eyes. Kevin met him at a coffee shop on State Street. "I need information," Kevin said. "On who?" "Destiny Marie Harper. She is a family court judge. I need to know how she lives, what her life looks like. I am not trying to hurt her. I just need to understand." Marcus Stone looked at Kevin for a long moment. "I do not do divorce dirt. I do not follow cheating spouses or dig up scandals. This is not that. I just need information." Marcus agreed. 1 week later, he called Kevin. "I have your report." They met at the same coffee shop. Marcus handed Kevin a folder. "Your judge lives in a small 2-bedroom apartment in Hyde Park. She works long hours but never misses her kids' school events. She has no boyfriend, no social life. Her entire world is her children and her work. She rebuilt her life from nothing, man. She is impressive." Kevin opened the folder. There were photos of Destiny walking her children to school, photos of her at the grocery store, photos of her at the park with Amara, Sienna, and Marcus. In every photo, she looked tired but focused, strong. Kevin closed the folder. He felt ashamed. While Kevin was building a new life, Madison was falling apart. She missed a court date. Sandra called Kevin immediately. "This is good for us. It shows she is unreliable." The next week, Madison showed up 30 minutes late to pick up Tyler. Kevin documented it. Then Madison missed a scheduled visit completely. Tyler sat by the window waiting for her. She never came. Tyler cried. Kevin held him and documented everything. One evening, Tyler said something that made Kevin angry. "Dad, I do not like Josh." "Who is Josh?" "Mom's friend. He lives with us now. He yells a lot." Kevin stayed calm. He asked careful questions. "Does Josh yell at you?" "Sometimes, when I am too loud, or when I leave my toys out." Kevin wrote everything down. He called Sandra that night. "Madison has a boyfriend living with her. Tyler says he yells." "Perfect. Document everything Tyler tells you." 2 days before the final hearing, Sandra called Kevin. Madison's behavior is helping our case, but I need to warn you, Judge Harper still holds all the power. She could rule against you because of your past. We need to be ready for that. Kevin looked out his apartment window at the city below. I know, but I have to try. Kevin hung up the phone and sat in silence. The final hearing was in 2 days. Friday, March 15th at 9 in the morning. 2 days to prepare. 2 days to make sure everything was perfect. Kevin opened his laptop and looked at his calendar. He had already completed 6 parenting classes. 2 more remained. The final class was tomorrow night. Then he would graduate and receive his certificate. He also had 10 therapy sessions completed with Dr. Chen. She had agreed to write a letter to the court about his progress. Kevin spent all day Wednesday with Tyler. He picked him up from school at 3 in the afternoon. Tyler ran to the car with his backpack bouncing on his shoulders. Dad, we learned about planets today. Tell me about it. They drove to the Shed Aquarium on the lakefront. The building was big and white with tall columns. Inside, the aquarium was dark and cool. Blue light came from the giant tanks. Tyler pressed his face against the glass and watched the fish swim past. A sea turtle moved slowly through the water. A school of silver fish turned all at once. Dad, look at that one. Tyler pointed at a bright yellow fish with blue stripes. Kevin stood next to him and watched. Tyler's hand reached up and grabbed Kevin's hand. Kevin looked down at his son. Tyler was smiling. His green eyes were bright with wonder. They walked through the entire aquarium. They saw sharks and dolphins and jellyfish that glowed in the dark. When they left, Tyler talked about the fish all the way to the car. Can we come back? Of course we can. They drove to Lumanity's on Michigan Avenue. The restaurant was warm and smelled like cheese and tomato sauce. They ordered a small deep dish pizza with sausage. It took 30 minutes to cook. While they waited, Tyler drew pictures on the paper tablecloth with crayons the waiter brought. He drew fish and turtles and sharks. When the pizza came, it was thick and hot. The cheese stretched when Kevin cut a slice. They ate slowly. Tyler got sauce on his face. Kevin wiped it off with a napkin. This is the best day, Tyler said. Kevin felt his chest tighten. I am glad, buddy. After dinner, they walked along the lakefront, even though it was cold. The wind came off Lake Michigan and made their faces cold. But Tyler did not complain. He held Kevin's hand and looked at the water. The sun was setting. The sky turned orange and pink. Dad, can I ask you something? Always. Can I live with you more? Not just 3 days. More days. Kevin stopped walking. He knelt down so he was eye level with Tyler. Do you want to live with me more? Yes. I like it at your house. We cook together. You help me with homework. You read me stories. At Mom's house, she is always on her phone. And Josh is always there. Who is Josh? Mom's boyfriend. He lives with us now. He is mean sometimes. Kevin kept his voice calm. Mean how? He yells when I am loud. He told me to shut up yesterday. Mom did not say anything. Kevin felt anger rise in his chest, but he kept his face calm. He pulled out his phone. Tyler, I need you to tell me that again. Is it okay if I record you? Why? Because I want to remember exactly what you said, so I can help you. Is that okay? Tyler nodded. Kevin started the recording app on his phone. Tyler, can you tell me about Josh? He is Mom's boyfriend. He lives with us. Sometimes he yells at me when I am too loud. Yesterday he told me to shut up. Mom was in the other room. She did not say anything. Does Josh yell at you a lot? Sometimes, not every day, but sometimes. Okay, buddy. Thank you for telling me. Kevin stopped the recording. He saved it. Then he hugged Tyler. "You are very brave. I am proud of you." They walked back to the car and drove home. That night, Kevin made hot chocolate. They sat on the couch and watched a movie about a dog who could talk. Tyler fell asleep halfway through. Kevin carried him to bed and tucked him in. He stood in the doorway, watching Tyler sleep. His small chest rose and fell. His face was peaceful. The next day was Thursday. Kevin had his final parenting class at 6 in the evening. He arrived early. Helen Martinez was setting up chairs in a circle. She smiled when she saw Kevin. "Last class. How do you feel?" "Different. Better." "That is what we want to hear." The other parents arrived. They sat in the circle and talked about what they learned. About patience. About consistency. About putting their children first. When it was Kevin's turn to share, he stood up. "When I started this class, I was fighting for custody because I thought it was my right. I thought I deserved it. But I was wrong. Custody is not about what I deserve. It is about what my son needs. These past 2 weeks, I have focused on being present, on being the father Tyler needs. Not the father I want to be. The father he actually needs. I still have a long way to go, but I am trying." The room was quiet. Then everyone clapped. Helen walked over and handed Kevin a certificate. It was printed on thick cream-colored paper with his name in bold letters. "Kevin Harper has successfully completed the Foundations of Parenting course. 8 sessions. Congratulations." Kevin took the certificate. He felt proud. Actually proud of something he had done. After class, Kevin drove to Dr. Chen's office. She was expecting him. They sat in her office, and she handed him an envelope. "This is my letter to the court. I wrote that you have made significant progress in therapy, that you are committed to being a better father, that you show genuine remorse for your past actions. I believe this will help your case." Kevin took the envelope. "Thank you for everything. Kevin, no matter what happens tomorrow, you have done the work. You have changed. That matters." Kevin went home and sat at his kitchen table. He pulled out a piece of paper and a pen. He had been thinking about this for days. He needed to write a letter to Destiny, not a legal letter, a personal one. He started writing, "Destiny, I do not expect you to read this. I do not expect you to forgive me. But I need to say these things. 4 years ago, I destroyed you. I took everything you had and left you with nothing. I did it because I was selfish and weak. I wanted my own happiness, and I did not care who I hurt. I blocked you. I erased you. I made it impossible for you to reach me. When you were pregnant and scared and alone, I was not there. I chose not to be there. That is the truth. I cannot hide from it anymore. I have 3 children I have never met. Amara, Sienna, and Marcus. I see them in court, and my heart breaks. They are beautiful. They are smart. They are kind. You did that. You raised them alone. You built a life from nothing. You turned pain into strength. I am in awe of you. I do not deserve to be their father. I know that. But if you ever decide to give me a chance, I will wait. I will wait as long as it takes. I will prove to you that I have changed. Not through words, through actions, through showing up, through being the man I should have been 4 years ago. I am sorry. Those words are not enough. But they are all I have. Kevin *. Kevin folded the letter and put it in his pocket. He would give it to Destiny after the hearing, after she made her ruling. He did not expect her to respond. He just needed her to know. That night, Kevin could not sleep. He checked his phone. Madison had posted new photos on Instagram. She was at a nightclub with Josh. Her hair was messy. Her makeup was smudged. She was holding a drink and laughing. The post was from 11 o'clock that night. Tyler was at her house. He was supposed to be in bed. Who was watching him? Kevin took a screenshot of the post. He sent it to Sandra. The next morning, Friday, Kevin woke up at 5. He could not stay in bed. He got up and made coffee. He took a shower. He put on his best suit, navy blue with a white shirt and a dark red tie. He looked at himself in the mirror. He looked tired, but he looked ready. His phone buzzed. It was a text from Sandra. Asterisk, that Instagram post is perfect. Madison is showing how irresponsible she is. We will use it today. Kevin drove to the courthouse early. He parked and sat in his car for 10 minutes. He watched people walk up the steps. Lawyers, families, security guards. Then he saw a black car pull up. Patricia got out first. Then Amara, Sienna, and Marcus. Then Destiny. She wore a gray suit. Her hair was pulled back. She looked beautiful and tired and strong. She said something to Patricia. Patricia nodded and led the children up the steps. Destiny followed behind them. She carried her briefcase and a coffee cup. Kevin watched them disappear into the courthouse. He sat in his car for 5 more minutes. Then he got out and walked across the street. He went through security and took the elevator to the 4th floor. He walked down the hallway to courtroom 4B. Sandra was waiting outside. She wore a black suit and held her briefcase. Are you ready? Kevin touched the letter in his pocket. Yes. They entered the courtroom. The courtroom was fuller than before. Kevin sat down at his table. Sandra sat next to him and organized her papers. Kevin looked around. His parents sat in the back row. His mother wore a cream dress. His father wore a dark suit. They looked angry. Next to them sat Madison's parents. Her father had his arms crossed. Her mother was whispering something to him. On the other side of the courtroom, Patricia sat with Amara, Sienna, and Marcus. Amara wore a blue dress and held a small stuffed rabbit. Sienna wore a pink dress and was braiding Patricia's hair. Marcus wore a small black suit and read a book about trucks. They were quiet, well-behaved, beautiful. Kevin stared at them. His children. Children he would never know. Children he had no right to. The door on the opposite side opened. Madison walked in with David Ortiz. She wore a black dress, and her hair was perfect. Too perfect. She had clearly spent hours getting ready. She sat down and did not look at Kevin. The bailiff stood up. All rise. The Honorable Judge Destiny Marie Harper presiding. Everyone stood. Destiny entered through the door behind the bench. She wore her black robe. Her face was calm and professional. She sat down and opened the case file. She looked at both tables, but her eyes did not stop on Kevin. Please be seated. This is the final hearing in the matter of Harper versus Cole. We are here to determine custody arrangements for Tyler Harper, age 5. Mr. Ortiz, you may present your closing argument. David Ortiz stood up. He buttoned his jacket and walked to the center of the courtroom. His voice was loud and confident. Thank you, Your Honor. Over the past several weeks, we have heard a lot of testimony. We have seen evidence, and the evidence is clear. Kevin Harper is not fit to have custody of his son Tyler. Mr. Harper has a history of abandoning his family. He divorced his first wife and left her with nothing. He has 3 children he has never met, never supported. He made himself unreachable when they needed him most. This is not a man who can be trusted with a child. David paused and looked at Madison. She dabbed her eyes with a tissue. My client Madison Cole has been the primary caregiver since Tyler was born. She has sacrificed her career for her son. She has been present. She has been consistent. Yes, she has made mistakes, but she has never abandoned her child. Mr. Harper cannot say the same. Therefore, we are requesting full custody for Miss Cole with supervised visitation for Mr. Harper." David sat down. Madison reached over and squeezed his hand. She was performing, playing the victim. Kevin felt sick. Destiny wrote something in her notes. Then she looked at Sandra. "Miss Kim, you may present your closing argument." Sandra stood up. She was calm, confident. She walked to the center of the courtroom holding a folder. "Your Honor, Mr. Harper is not the same man he was 4 years ago. He has done the work to change. He has completed an 8-week parenting course at the Lincoln Park Community Center. Here is his certificate of completion." Sandra walked forward and handed the certificate to Destiny. Destiny took it and looked at it carefully. She made a note. "Mr. Harper has also completed 10 therapy sessions with Dr. Laura Chen, a licensed psychologist. Dr. Chen has submitted a letter to the court. I would like to enter it into evidence." Sandra handed Destiny the sealed envelope. Destiny opened it and read the letter silently. Her face showed nothing. Kevin held his breath. After a full minute, Destiny put the letter down. "Continue, Miss Kim." Sandra pulled out more papers from her folder. "Your Honor, I also have records showing that Mr. Harper has attended every scheduled visit with Tyler. He has never missed one, not a single time. He picks Tyler up on time. He returns him on time. He helps with homework. He cooks meals. He reads bedtime stories. He is present. He is consistent. He is doing exactly what a good father should do." Sandra pulled out her phone and tapped the screen. "I also have a recording. Tyler Harper, age 5, speaking about his living situation. With the court's permission, I would like to play it." Destiny nodded. "Permission granted." Sandra connected her phone to a small speaker. Tyler's voice filled the courtroom. Small, innocent, clear. "Mom's boyfriend Josh lives with us. Sometimes he yells at me when I am too loud. Yesterday, he told me to shut up. Mom was in the other room. She did not say anything. The courtroom went silent." Madison stood up quickly. "That is not true. Tyler is making that up. He—" Destiny banged her gavel. "Sit down, Miss Cole. You will have your chance to speak." Madison sat down. Her face was red. David whispered something to her. She shook her head. Sandra continued. "Your Honor, Miss Cole has missed 2 scheduled visits with Tyler in the past 3 weeks. She has also been posting photos on social media, showing her at nightclubs late at night, when Tyler is supposed to be in her care. I would like to enter these screenshots into evidence." Sandra handed Destiny several printed photos. Destiny looked at them. One showed Madison at a nightclub at 11 at night. Another showed her drinking at a bar. Another showed her with Josh at a restaurant during a time when she was supposed to have Tyler. Destiny put the photos down. She looked at Madison. Madison would not meet her eyes. "Miss Kim, do you have anything else?" "Yes, Your Honor. Both parents have made mistakes. Both parents have failed in different ways. But Mr. Harper has taken responsibility. He has admitted his faults. He is doing the work to change. Miss Cole has not. She continues to prioritize her social life over her son. Tyler deserves stability. He deserves both parents. But he also deserves parents who put him first. Mr. Harper is doing that now. We are requesting joint custody with equal time sharing." Sandra sat down. Kevin's hands were shaking. He clasped them together under the table. Destiny was quiet for a long moment. She looked at her notes. She looked at the evidence. Then she looked at Kevin. "Mr. Harper, do you wish to speak?" Kevin stood up slowly. His legs felt weak. He looked at Destiny. She looked back at him with dark, unreadable eyes. "Yes, Your Honor." "Then approach." Kevin walked to the center of the courtroom. He did not have notes. He did not have a prepared speech. He just had the truth. Your Honor, I know who you are. I know what I did to you 4 years ago. The courtroom went completely silent. Everyone was staring. Kevin could feel his parents' eyes on his back. He could feel Madison's shock. But he kept looking at Destiny. I destroyed you. I took everything from you. I left you homeless and pregnant and alone. I blocked you. I made it impossible for you to reach me. I walked away from my vows, from my responsibilities, from you. I chose my own desires over everything that mattered. Kevin's voice shook, but he kept going. I have 3 children I have never met. Amara, Sienna, and Marcus. They are sitting in the back of this courtroom right now. They are beautiful. They are smart. They are kind. You raised them alone. You built a life from nothing. I had no part in that. I was not there. I chose not to be there. Destiny's face was stone. She showed nothing. I cannot change the past. I cannot undo what I did. But I am asking you to judge this case fairly. Not based on what I did to you, not based on revenge. Based on what is best for Tyler. My son needs his father. I am not perfect. I am still learning. But I love him. I want to be there for him. I want to do better. Kevin stopped talking. His eyes were wet, but he did not cry. He just stood there, honest, open, broken. The courtroom was completely silent. Destiny looked at Kevin for a long moment. Then she looked at the back row. At Amara, who was hugging her stuffed rabbit. At Sienna, who had stopped braiding Patricia's hair. At Marcus, who had put down his book and was watching Kevin with wide eyes. Destiny looked back at Kevin. "Step down, Mr. Harper." Kevin walked back to his table and sat down. His whole body was shaking. Sandra touched his arm, but said nothing. Destiny looked at both tables. I will now give my ruling. The courtroom held its breath. Madison gripped the edge of the table. David Ortiz leaned forward. Sandra sat perfectly still. Kevin closed his eyes. Destiny spoke slowly, clearly. Her voice was calm and strong. This case is about Tyler Harper, age 5. It is not about revenge. It is not about the past. It is about what is best for a child who deserves to be loved and cared for by both of his parents. She paused and looked at her notes. Mr. Harper and Miss Cole have both failed. Both have put their own needs above their son. Both have made poor choices. However, I have seen evidence that Mr. Harper is making an effort to change. He has completed a parenting course. He has attended therapy. He has been consistent with his visits. He is doing the work required of a parent. Destiny looked at Madison. Miss Cole, you have missed scheduled visits. You have introduced multiple romantic partners into Tyler's life without consideration for how it affects him. You have posted evidence of a lifestyle that does not put your son first. That must change. Madison opened her mouth to argue, but David grabbed her arm. She closed her mouth. Destiny looked at both of them. I am ordering joint custody. Tyler will spend equal time with both parents. 1 week with Miss Cole, 1 week with Mr. Harper. You will alternate weeks. Mr. Harper will pay child support based on the state guidelines. Both parents must continue therapy for a minimum of 6 months. Miss Cole, you will also complete a parenting course within 90 days. Both of you will submit to random home visits from a court-appointed social worker. If either parent fails to meet these requirements, we will revisit custody immediately. Kevin opened his eyes. Relief flooded through him. He did not lose Tyler. He would get equal time, equal custody. Madison stood up. Your Honor, this is not fair. I should have full custody. He abandoned 3 children. Destiny's eyes went cold. She banged her gavel. Miss Cole, I have made my ruling. If you continue to argue, I will hold you in contempt. Do you understand? Madison sat down. Her face was red. She was crying angry tears. Destiny looked at Kevin. "Mr. Harper, do not waste this opportunity. Your son deserves the father you are trying to become. Do not let him down." "I will not, Your Honor. Thank you." Destiny banged her gavel one final time. "Court is adjourned." Everyone stood. Destiny gathered her files and walked toward her chambers. She did not look back. Patricia stood up with the 3 children. Amara was holding her stuffed rabbit tightly. Sienna was pulling on Patricia's sleeve, asking questions. Marcus was watching Kevin. Kevin stared at Marcus. The little boy stared back. Their eyes met across the courtroom. Marcus tilted his head slightly, curious. Then Patricia led them out the side door. They were gone. Sandra hugged Kevin. "You did it! Joint custody! That is a good ruling." Kevin's parents walked up. His father looked angry. "You should appeal. You should have gotten full custody after that Instagram evidence." Kevin turned to face his father. "The ruling is fair. I am not appealing." His mother touched his arm. "Kevin, you could do better. You could—" "No, Mom. The ruling is fair. Destiny was fair. I am accepting it." Kevin picked up his coat and walked toward the door. He needed to see Destiny. He needed to give her the letter. He walked into the hallway. It was empty except for a few lawyers talking. Kevin waited by the elevator. 5 minutes later, Destiny walked out of the courtroom. Patricia was helping Amara put on her coat. Sienna was spinning in circles. Marcus was holding his book. Kevin stepped forward. Destiny saw him and stopped walking. Destiny's face turned cold. The hallway was quiet. A few lawyers walked past but did not pay attention. Patricia pulled the children closer to her. Amara hugged her stuffed rabbit. Sienna stopped spinning. Marcus looked up at Kevin with curious eyes. Kevin stepped closer. His heart was pounding. He looked at Amara. She had dimples like his. He looked at Sienna. She had his forehead. He looked at Marcus. He had Kevin's dark brown eyes. There was no question. These were his children. "Destiny, please. I need to talk to you." Destiny's voice was ice. "We have nothing to discuss, Mr. Harper. The case is over." "Not about the case. About them." Kevin looked at the 3 children. Destiny stepped between Kevin and the children. She was protecting them. From him. "Patricia, take the children downstairs to the car. I will be there in 2 minutes." Patricia nodded. She took Amara's hand and Sienna's hand. Marcus followed behind them. As they walked toward the elevator, Marcus looked back at Kevin one more time. Then the elevator doors closed. They were gone. Destiny turned to face Kevin. They were alone in the hallway now. "You have 1 minute. Talk." Kevin took a deep breath. "Please, tell me the truth. Are they mine?" Destiny stared at him. Her dark eyes were hard, angry, tired. "Does it matter?" "Yes, it matters." Destiny stepped closer. Her voice was quiet but sharp. "You signed away your rights to know 4 years ago. You chose to walk away. You chose to ignore me. You chose to block me out completely. Those are my children, only mine. You have no claim to them." Kevin felt tears in his eyes. "I did not know. I swear I did not know. If I had known you were pregnant, I would have—" "You would have what? Come back? Helped me? Do not lie to yourself, Kevin. You did not want to know. There is a difference." Kevin reached into his pocket and pulled out the folded letter. His hands were shaking. "I wrote this for you. Please, just read it." He held the letter out to Destiny. She looked at it but did not take it. "I do not want your letter." "Please, it explains everything. It says—" "I do not care what it says. I do not care about your apologies or your regrets. You had 4 years to care. You chose not to. That was your decision. Now you have to live with it." Kevin's hand dropped to his side. He still held the letter. Can I meet them? Just once. I will not ask for custody. I will not try to take them from you. I just want to know them. Please. Destiny's face did not change. No. They are my children. No, they are my children. I carried them. I gave birth to them alone. I raised them alone. I fed them and clothed them and loved them with no help from you. You are nothing to them. A stranger. Kevin felt his chest tighten. He could not breathe. I have rights. Destiny laughed. It was a cold, empty sound. Rights? You have no rights. You never signed a birth certificate. You never paid child support. You never acknowledged them. Legally, you do not exist to them. And I will make sure it stays that way. Kevin's voice broke. I am their father. No, you are a sperm donor. Nothing more. Destiny turned and started walking toward the elevator. Kevin followed her. Destiny, wait, please. I am begging you. I know I do not deserve anything. I know I destroyed you. But please, give me a chance. Let me prove I have changed. Destiny pressed the elevator button. She did not turn around. You proved something today, Kevin. You proved you can be a decent father to Tyler. Good. Be that for him. But stay away from my children. This is your only warning. The elevator doors opened. Destiny stepped inside. She turned and looked at Kevin one last time. Her face was stone. If I see you near them again, I will file a restraining order. Do you understand? Kevin could not speak. He just nodded. The elevator doors closed. Destiny was gone. Kevin stood alone in the empty hallway. He looked down at the letter in his hand. He had written everything he needed to say, but she did not want to hear it. She did not want anything from him. Kevin's legs felt weak. He sat down on a wooden bench against the wall. He put his head in his hands. He sat there for 10 minutes, maybe longer. People walked past him. Nobody stopped. Finally, Kevin stood up. He walked to the elevator and went down to the parking garage. He got in his car and sat in the darkness. He looked at the letter one more time. Then he put it in the glove compartment and closed it. Maybe one day she would want to read it. But not today. Kevin drove home to his apartment. It was early afternoon. The sun was shining, but Kevin did not notice. He walked into his apartment and sat on the couch. He sat in silence for a long time. His phone buzzed. It was a text from Sandra. Asterisk, congratulations. You did well today. The ruling was fair. Call me next week, and we will set up the custody schedule. Kevin put his phone down. He should feel happy. He won joint custody. He did not lose Tyler. But all he could think about were the 3 children he would never know. Amara, Sienna, Marcus, his children. They would grow up without him. They would never call him Dad. They would never know his voice or his face or his name. He caused this. 4 years ago, he made a choice. Now, he had to live with it. Kevin sat on his couch until the sun went down. Then he got up and called Tyler. Madison answered. What do you want? I want to talk to Tyler. He is eating dinner. It will only take a minute. Madison sighed. Kevin heard her call Tyler. Then Tyler's small voice came on the phone. Hi, Dad. Kevin felt his chest loosen. His son. At least he still had his son. Hey, buddy. I wanted to tell you some good news. The judge made a decision today. You are going to stay with me 1 week, then with your mom 1 week. Back and forth. That means I get to see you a lot more. Really? Really? That is good. I like staying with you. Kevin smiled. It was the first time he smiled all day. I like it too, buddy. I will pick you up on Monday morning. We will have the whole week together. Okay. I love you, Dad. I love you too. Kevin hung up. He sat in the dark and thought about his life. He had 4 children, but he would only ever know one of them. That was his punishment. Not the custody battle, not the courtroom, not the ruling. His punishment was knowing he had 3 children he would never hold, never teach, never know. They would grow up without him. And it was his fault. The weeks turned into months. Kevin showed up for Tyler every single week. He picked him up on Monday morning and dropped him off on Sunday evening. They cooked together. They did homework together. They went to the park. They read books. They built a life together. Tyler smiled more. He laughed more. He was happy. Kevin attended therapy twice a week. He completed 6 more months of sessions with Dr. Chen. She helped him process his guilt, his grief, his loss. She helped him understand that he could not change the past. He could only be better in the present. Kevin stopped trying to see the triplets. He did not go to the courthouse. He did not wait outside Destiny's apartment. He stayed away. It hurt. Every single day it hurt. But he did it. Because Destiny asked him to. Because she had earned the right to make that choice. One night, Tyler asked Kevin a question. "Dad, do I have any brothers or sisters?" Kevin's heart stopped. He looked at Tyler, his 5-year-old son with innocent green eyes. "Why do you ask?" "My friend Emma has a baby brother. I want a brother too." Kevin did not know what to say. He could not tell Tyler the truth. Not yet. Maybe not ever. "Right now, it is just you and me, buddy. Is that okay?" Tyler nodded. "Okay." Months passed, then a year. Kevin became the father Tyler deserved. He was present. He was patient. He was consistent. He never missed a week. He never missed a school event. He was there. But every night, Kevin thought about Amara, Sienna, and Marcus. He wondered what they were doing, if they were happy, if they ever asked about their father. He would never know. Meanwhile, Destiny continued her work as a family court judge. She was respected. She was fair. She was strong. Her children grew up surrounded by love. They went to good schools. They had friends. They had everything they needed. Destiny never told them about Kevin. When they asked about their father, she said he was not in their lives. She said it was just the 4 of them. And that was enough. One evening, Destiny sat on the couch in her small apartment reading bedtime stories to Amara, Sienna, and Marcus. They were 5 years old now. Amara sat on her right side. Sienna sat on her left. Marcus sat on the floor with his head against her knee. Destiny read about a princess who saved herself, about a boy who could fly, about animals who talked. The children listened. They were safe. They were loved. They were hers. When the stories ended, Destiny tucked them into bed. She kissed each of their foreheads. "I love you," she said. "We love you too, Mommy," they said together. Destiny turned off the light and closed the door. She walked to her bedroom and sat on her bed. She was exhausted. She was always exhausted. But she was also proud. She built this life from nothing. She survived. She won. Kevin Harper was a ghost from another life. A mistake she survived. A chapter that was closed. Destiny walked to the kitchen and made herself tea. Chamomile with honey. She sat at the small table by the window and looked out at the city. Chicago stretched out below her. Lights in the darkness. She had lived in this apartment for 5 years. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a small kitchen. It was not much, but it was hers. She earned it. She paid for it. Nobody could take it away. Her phone buzzed on the table. It was a text from Patricia. Patricia did not live with them anymore. The children were old enough now that Destiny could manage on her own, but Patricia still checked in every week. Asterisk. How are my babies? Destiny smiled and typed back. Asterisk asleep. Finally. Sienna did not want to go to bed. She wanted one more story. That sounds like Sienna. Give them kisses from me. I will. Destiny put her phone down and drank her tea. She thought about the past 5 years, about the shelter where she lived when she was pregnant, about the charity hospital where she gave birth alone, about the 3 jobs she worked while going to law school at night, about sleeping 4 hours a day for 3 years, about graduating top of her class, about becoming a public defender, then a prosecutor, then a judge. She did it all alone. Nobody helped her. Nobody believed in her. She just refused to quit. She refused to let Kevin Harper destroy her. Destiny finished her tea and went to bed. She had court in the morning, 3 cases, a custody dispute, a child support hearing, an adoption. Her life was full. Her children were healthy. She won. Across the city, Kevin sat in his apartment. It was late, almost midnight. Tyler was asleep in Kevin's bedroom. Kevin gave Tyler the bedroom and slept on the couch. He did not mind. He wanted Tyler to be comfortable. Kevin sat in the dark and thought about Amara, Sienna, and Marcus. He thought about them every night. He wondered what they looked like now. They were 5 years old, the same age as Tyler. Did they still look like him? Did they ever ask about their father? Did Destiny tell them he existed? Kevin pulled out his phone and opened his photos. He had one picture of the triplets. Just one. He took it secretly during one of the court hearings. It was blurry and far away, but he could see their faces. Amara with her dimples. Sienna with her bright smile. Marcus with his serious eyes. Kevin stared at the photo. Then he put his phone away. He could not keep doing this. He could not keep torturing himself. They were not his children. Not really. He gave up that right 4 years ago. Kevin stood up and walked to the bedroom. He looked at Tyler, sleeping. His son. His beautiful son. Tyler was growing. He was happy. He was loved. Kevin was doing something right. That had to be enough. The next morning, Kevin woke Tyler up at 7. They ate breakfast together. Scrambled eggs and toast. Then Kevin drove Tyler to school. Lincoln Elementary, on the north side of Chicago. Kevin walked Tyler to his classroom. Tyler's teacher, Mrs. Rodriguez, smiled at them. "Good morning, Tyler." "Good morning, Mr. Harper." "Good morning, Mrs. Rodriguez." Tyler ran into the classroom and sat at his desk. He waved at Kevin. Kevin waved back. Then he left and drove to work. Kevin still worked at Morrison Financial Group, but he left every day at 5. No more late nights. No more missing dinner. He put Tyler first. Always. That evening, Kevin picked Tyler up from school. They went to the grocery store and bought ingredients for spaghetti. At home, Kevin cooked while Tyler did his homework at the kitchen table. Math problems. Reading comprehension. Tyler was smart. He worked hard. They ate dinner together. Then they cleaned up together. Then Kevin helped Tyler take a bath. They sat on the couch and watched a movie about a robot who wanted to be human. Tyler fell asleep with his head on Kevin's shoulder. Kevin carried him to bed and tucked him in. "I love you, buddy." Tyler was already asleep. Kevin stood in the doorway watching him. This was everything. This small moment. This quiet peace. This was what he almost lost. He would never take it for granted again. The months continued to pass. Kevin attended every school event, every parent-teacher conference, every class party. He was there, present, consistent. Other parents started to recognize him. They said hello. They included him in conversations. Kevin was building a life, a real life, not the fake one he had with Madison, not the selfish one he had before. A real life built on showing up. One Saturday afternoon, Kevin took Tyler to the park. It was a warm day in June. The sun was shining. Children were playing on the swings and slides. Kevin pushed Tyler on the swing. Tyler laughed. His hair flew in the wind. "Higher, Dad, higher!" Kevin pushed higher. Tyler screamed with joy. Kevin smiled. He felt happy. Actually happy. After the park, they walked to get ice cream. Tyler got chocolate. Kevin got vanilla. They sat on a bench and ate their ice cream in the sunshine. Tyler talked about school, about his friend Emma, who could do a backflip, about his teacher, who let them have extra recess. Kevin listened, really listened. "Dad, can I ask you something?" "Always." "Do you have any other kids?" Kevin's heart stopped. He looked at Tyler, his 6-year-old son with innocent green eyes and a chocolate mustache. "Why do you ask?" "My friend Jacob said he saw you at the courthouse. He said there were other kids there who looked like you." Kevin took a deep breath. He did not want to lie, but he did not know how to tell the truth. "There are some children who might be related to me, but I do not know them. They have their own family. It is complicated." Tyler thought about this. "Do they know about me?" "I do not know, buddy. I wish I could meet them." Kevin felt his chest tighten. Maybe one day. Tyler went back to eating his ice cream. The moment passed, but Kevin knew it would come back. Eventually, Tyler would ask more questions. Eventually, Kevin would have to tell him the whole truth. But not today. That night, after Tyler went to bed, Kevin called Dr. Chen. "Tyler asked about the triplets today." "What did you say?" "I told him they might be related to me, but I do not know them." I did not know what else to say. Dr. Chen was quiet for a moment. "You told him the truth. That is all you can do. One day, when he is older, you can explain more. But for now, that is enough." Kevin hung up and sat in the dark. He thought about calling Destiny. He thought about writing her another letter, but he did not. He promised to stay away. He had to keep that promise. Another year passed. Kevin continued being a good father to Tyler. Tyler was 7 now. He was reading chapter books. He was playing soccer. He was growing up. Kevin was there for all of it. Every game, every school play, every birthday party. He was there. Madison eventually moved to California with Josh. She remarried. She still talked to Tyler once a week on the phone, but she was not very involved. Tyler did not seem to mind. He had Kevin. That was enough. Kevin never dated. He never tried to meet anyone. His life was Tyler and work. That was all he needed, all he deserved. Meanwhile, Destiny's life continued. Her children were now 6 years old. Amara was quiet and artistic. She loved to draw and paint. Sienna was loud and fearless. She loved to run and climb. Marcus was thoughtful and kind. He loved to read and ask questions. They were perfect. They were hers. One evening, Marcus asked Destiny a question while she was making dinner. "Mommy, why do not we have a daddy?" Destiny stopped stirring the pot on the stove. She looked at Marcus. His dark brown eyes were curious, innocent. "We do not need a daddy. We have each other." "But everyone else has a daddy." Sienna ran into the kitchen. "I do not want a daddy. We are fine without one." Amara was sitting at the table coloring. She did not say anything, but Destiny saw her listening. Destiny knelt down so she was eye level with Marcus. "Your daddy is not in our lives. He made choices a long time ago that hurt me. But those choices gave me you three. And you three are the best thing that ever happened to me. Do you understand?" Marcus nodded slowly. "Okay, Mommy. Do you have any more questions? Will we ever meet him?" Destiny thought carefully about her answer. Maybe one day when you are older, but not now. Right now, it is just us. And that is enough. Marcus hugged her. Sienna hugged her. Amara came over and joined the hug. The four of them stood in the kitchen holding each other. They were a family, a complete family. They did not need anyone else. That night, Destiny tucked her children into bed. She read them a story about a girl who sailed around the world. When the story ended, she kissed each of their foreheads. "I love you more than anything in this world." "We love you too, Mommy," they said together. Destiny turned off the light and walked to her bedroom. She sat on her bed and looked at a photo on her nightstand. It was a picture of her and the triplets at the park. They were all smiling. The sun was shining. They were happy. Destiny built this life from nothing. She survived homelessness, poverty, abandonment, betrayal. She turned pain into strength. She turned loss into purpose. She did not need revenge. She did not need Kevin to suffer. His suffering changed nothing. His regret meant nothing. What mattered was this: her children, her life, her peace. Kevin Harper was a ghost from another life. A mistake she survived. A lesson she learned. A chapter that was closed forever. Across the city, Kevin sat on his couch. Tyler was asleep in the bedroom. Kevin looked at the photo on his phone. The blurry picture of Amara, Sienna, and Marcus. He would never know them, never hear their voices, never see them grow up. That was his punishment. Not prison, not poverty, not public shame. His punishment was knowing he had 3 children he would never hold, never teach, never love. They would grow up without him. They would be fine without him. Better, even. Kevin deleted the photo. He could not keep looking at it. He could not keep torturing himself. He had Tyler. He had to be enough for Tyler. That was all he could do now. Kevin turned off his phone and sat in the darkness. He thought about Destiny, about how strong she was, how she built a life from ashes. He destroyed her once, but she rebuilt herself into something stronger, something unbreakable. She won. Not through revenge, not through hate, through surviving, through thriving, through building a life so full of love that Kevin no longer mattered. That was the greatest defeat of all. If you enjoyed today's video, I'm sure you'll love the next one. Don't waste time. Just click on the screen